Imagine you are lying in a hospital bed, and the doctor has just walked in. He has given you the news that has brought everything crashing down. He has told you that you have 6 months to live. What is running through your head? Is it a list of things that you hope to accomplish with these last months? Is it faces of people that you'll have to say goodbye to? Or is it the dread of pain that you'll endure during these months? Do you even want these 6 months? If not, is there a way out? Today we will be going over euthanasia, otherwise known as medically assisted suicide, and if this should be legalized in our hospitals. I have done extensive research on many different aspects of euthanasia and feel that the knowledge I have gained from the research makes me qualified to speak on a few reasons why or why not this should be legalized. We will be going through this by covering 4 main points. Number 1, the individual's right to die. Number 2, the economic factor. And number 3, the possibility of individuals being pressured into. Number 4, the slippery slope. Some people see euthanasia as something that should not be considered in the courts, but rather an individual right that we are born with. We can look at the case of Roe v. Wade, where women were given the right to end the life of their own offspring through the court. This verdict was decided upon by the 14th Amendment, which states, "No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law." If we consider this amendment, does it qualify the legalization of euthanasia? We can also look at polls taken by ABC, CBS, Fox, and Gallup, where they showed that an overwhelming majority of people believe that euthanasia should be legalized and should be the individual's right to decide. Another point that can support the legalization of euthanasia is the economic factor. We can see that there is a significant cost difference between euthanasia and the health care of terminally ill patients. According to the Life Resources Charitable Trust, the amount of money for drugs used for assisted suicide is $35 to $40 versus the amount used for proper health care, which is $35,000 to $40,000. We can also consider the factor that money that is given to those who wish to die could be used to those who want to fight to live. In the article, The Economic Argument for Euthanasia, Charlie Sprague asks us to consider this. A system of legalized euthanasia transfers medical resources from those who want to die to those who want to live. There are many other factors in why people support the legalization of euthanasia. Today we have just gone over a few. However, there's another side to this topic, which is for those who believe that euthanasia should not be legalized. One of the reasons they believe that this should not be legalized is that they're risking the possibility of individuals being pressured into committing this act. Individuals can feel like they have become a burden to their families. A poll taken in Oregon by the Life Resources Charitable Trust, where euthanasia is legalized, shows that 66% of people who are opting for this medically assisted suicide give the reason that they do not want to feel like a burden. BBC also states that terminally ill patients' last few months are usually the most expensive. My last point is something known as the slippery slope. This is the idea that there is a great chance that voluntary euthanasia can turn into involuntary euthanasia. Many people believe that permitting medically assisted suicide can lead to something known as the slippery slope. Legalizing voluntary suicide could lead to involuntary suicide. BBC sums this possibility up like this. If we allow something relatively harmless today, we may start a trend that results in something currently unthinkable becoming accepted. People that we consider vulnerable, such as elderly and infants, could become victims of involuntary euthanasia. Dr. McCarthy puts it this way in his article. The current law is framed to provide protection for the vulnerable while allowing individual freedom. The central question is, would a change in the law or in its interpretation place vulnerable people at greater risk than at present? Those who believe that euthanasia should not be legalized give the answer as yes. We have discussed a few of the pros and cons of legalizing euthanasia. The first pro we looked at was the defense of an individual's right to die. We also discussed the economic factor of mercy killing as a pro and how it can save a large amount of money. As any controversial topic, there are cons to be considered as well. We reviewed the possibility of a person in a critically ill condition making the decision of ending their life via euthanasia due to pressure. This possible negative factor led us into our next con of the slippery slope, where we took a look at the possibility of medically assisted suicide being abused if legalized. After reviewing both sides of this broad topic, I hope you have a better understanding and better knowledge of the positives and negatives of legalizing euthanasia. If we were to go back to that hospital bed, would you want the option of euthanasia? Thank you.